Yes, yes. Welcome in, everyone. It's the One Burner Bachelor. 37 steps up high above the city on a nice summer day in our small penthouse apartment, steaming some water out of our saute pan, as we do often, just to be extra sure that there's no bacteria in the pan. Once that water gets hot enough to steam, it's close to 200 degrees, or at least 200 degrees, and 165 degrees will take care of any bacteria. So we're being extra safe, making sure there's no bacteria in our one burner, in our saute pan on the One Burner Bachelor before we get started. Today we're going to go with eggs. I got a couple of nice Roma tomatoes, cut them the long way, cut them in half and diced them. I've got about 16 chunks of nice fresh Roma tomatoes. This is half a package right here of Green Giant chopped spinach, frozen steamers. I guess nowadays, some cooking that's done, you just leave it right in the bag and put it in your boiling water, and when it looks like it's soft in the bag, you cut the bag open and you dump it out and you serve it. All right, we're not going to do that. We're going to show once again that microwavable or steamed things or frozen things can be started from frozen in the saute pan on the One Burner Bachelor. I got a dozen eggs. I did check them in line today before I brought them up to the counter, because last time I didn't and I only had 11 in there. I think that's why they were a special price. So anyways, we're going to beat those 4 eggs up. And I was never very good at making omelets. So to me, there's really not much difference between an omelet and scrambled eggs other than the appearance. But as far as I know, all the ingredients can be the same. So we're going to let this little bit more water steam away, because one thing I did learn about cooking eggs, you do want your pan to be at least warm. Not scalding hot so everything cooks right away when you pour it in. But I think it's just there's a little more action right away if you start with your saute pan warm. So that's what we're going to do on the One Burner Bachelor today. And as we go along, we'll talk about what I'm doing a little bit more, and we'll finish up these scrambled eggs on the One Burner Bachelor. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. I've scrambled up my 4 eggs. When you're working with something or cooking with something that cooks as quickly as eggs do, especially on high or medium heat, you want to add your ingredients in order that you're going to add to those eggs. You don't want to put the eggs in there first and have them already cooking and then add my frozen spinach and my diced tomatoes, which haven't had time to really get happy or do anything. So we added our spinach first, and we did put a little chunk of blue bonnet in there, just as a little more flavor, not just water, to get things started. We know from past experience and episodes that the frozen goods that we start from frozen in our saute pan on the One Burner Bachelor will release some water, which will steam away in time. But as we like to do sometimes, this butter will add to that steaming away water. And as the spinach begins to soften a little bit, then we'll add our diced tomatoes, let them do their thing for a bit, and then we'll add the eggs. All right, starting to smell good in here. We'll be back, the One Burner Bachelor. Okay, we're back. As promised, the frozen spinach has now softened up, released the water from it, which of course did cool off the temperature in our saute pan here on the One Burner Bachelor, which is fine. It's now starting to simmer again. So it was a perfect time to add our raw diced Roma tomato. So we're going to let that all get happy for a bit. Let that little bit of moisture steam away that is coming from the spinach. And then we're going to add our eggs. Because we know our spinach is nice and hot and cooked, we're going to let the tomatoes get nice and soft. So then when we add the eggs, as quick as the eggs cook, the other ingredients will already be nice and ready as our eggs are done. And then we'll always, as always, we'll add something to them at the end to put a little twist and a kick into them. Okay, we'll be back. The One Burner Bachelor. Nice day. 37 steps up, high above the city. Okay, we're back. Very, very important. We need to let as much of that liquid and water steam away in our saute pan before we add our scrambled eggs, because we don't want watery scrambled eggs. So it looks to me right now there's only just a little bit of moisture left bubbling in there. I'm going to keep the heat up pretty high on the one burner bachelor, just so the eggs can start doing their thing right away, because we do like to start our eggs with the pan hot. So I'm going to grab my 4 scrambled eggs. Here's where it gets a little fun, when I'm trying to hold the camera in one hand and do my thing in the other. And there we go. Those are 4 scrambled eggs, just added right to it. And quickly, we're also going to add, as I keep my phone here on our saute pan, we're going to add a nice chunk of Sargento 4 cheese Mexican. It's reduced fat, which is cool, and that's going to not only add some body, but some flavor and a little texture to our scrambled eggs. Not much different than an omelet, other than the appearance. All the ingredients are the same. All right, I'm going to get this mixed around. We'll check it out. The One Burner Bachelor. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. Wow, I think we hit the jackpot. Look at this. The smell's awesome. Spinach, tomato, 4 eggs, the 4 mixed shredded Mexican cheese. We could almost put this in a round pie tin, toss it in a hot oven, maybe let the top of it crisp up a little bit, and call it a quiche, or even put it in a pie crust or something. Oh, it looks absolutely fabulous. The moisture all gone, of course, from the pan, so the juice in there now is just flavor, and the melted cheese and the eggs are scrambled perfectly, the diced tomatoes and the spinach. All right, so spinach, tomato, and cheese scrambled eggs. The One Burner Bachelor. 37 steps up high above the city. The sun's come out just in time for me to enjoy this. See you next time, everybody. Thanks for stopping in.